Well, let's head over to the west now, where traditional custodians fear one of the world's largest collections of rock art is under serious threat from an expanding industrial project in WA's Pilbara region. The chemicals company Perdaman wants to move 3 Aboriginal sites on the Burrup Peninsula to make way for a $4.3 billion urea project.
The traditional custodians have made an emergency application to the federal government to protect the ancient rock engravings. This all comes just 4 months after federal politicians handed down their final report into Rio Tinto's destruction of ancient rock shelters in the Pilbara with a promise of change. Lindy Kerrin reports.
Early in the morning when the sun rises, everything comes to life in the land. Everything the light touches, it is brought to life. Moro!
Ngarluma and Yunjibandi man Patrick Churnside is singing to country.
All the country got a song. We just got to listen. We have to. Wanyabarima. That's how old people tell us. The land don't belong to us. Just because we have a piece of paper that may say that the land owns us, and we must look after the land.
Within these red rock hills are 1 million ancient rock engravings, the most dense and diverse collection of petroglyphs in the world. It's so globally significant, it's being considered for the World Heritage List. But Patrick Churnside is becoming increasingly worried about the expanding heavy industry right next door.
I can hear what country is saying often. Sometimes it's sadness, maybe. It's sorrow. The man in the suit doesn't feel that. Why is it so important for the government and industry to say, we want to be here? Well, our songs and our story and our dreaming are here. That's what we're fighting to say. You move this, you're moving more than us.
A number of the ancient rock engravings have already been damaged or destroyed to make way for industry. And now the chemicals company Perdaman has won approval to disturb 3 other sites to build a urea plant next door.
See that place there? This belonged to the dreaming ancestors, belonged to the Marga people, those spirit beings. They made some of these things and they left it here. For us, Ngururang and custodial people, belong to the land.
It has the most oldest rock art in the world. There's not just one piece of rock art. There are over 1 million pieces of rock art throughout this whole area, throughout this whole country. And the rock art doesn't just exist here. This is the biggest quantity of it right here. The rock art also goes from here right up to 800 kilometres into the desert and back around the place. It holds a very, very significant story for the country right around here and for Australia.
Murujuga women Josie Alec and Raylene Cooper have jointly written to the federal government seeking an emergency protection order. And today they're taking Green Senator Dorinda Cox onto the site.
We have to take drastic measures. This place behind me is at risk here, it's at stake, and everything that's in it, everything culturally significant in it is at stake.
Almost 20 years ago, the state government signed an agreement known as BIMIA with local language groups to pave the way for industry. But the women say the community was misled about what they were signing and gagged from speaking out about future development under a no objection clause.
From the very beginning, no one was consented. From the very beginning, no one was asked. So government, big players with money, came in and destroyed history.
A lot of the old people believe that what was said back then is not challengeable. It's already done. We've lost the battle a long time ago. No, we haven't. We have a voice. We can talk. We know what's right and wrong. And we can challenge any system that we want to because it's a flawed system.
The Juukan inquiry last year recommended such gag clauses be banned.
When I hear no objection, when we look at that site, knowing full well and understanding what the rock and the art on that site may depict, my obligation says, no way, leave it alone. It's not belong to you, it's belong to the country. We as the custodial people have an obligation to say no to protect that.
The WA government says there's nothing in the agreement to prevent traditional owners from having a say in the protection of their cultural heritage, and it encourages industry to obtain informed consent for any activity. Raylene Cooper resigned from the Murujuga board last month in protest over the industry expansion.
I've sat in that boardroom for nearly 10 years and I've fought the fight. I've asked the questions. I want to know, how can you allow this to happen? They're shutting us down. Nobody's had a say about this place. We all speaking now because this is important, not just for myself and my family, for everybody. This is a place of gathering. It was a place of gathering thousands of years ago, hundreds of thousands of years ago. At the end of the day, that Bimia agreement is nothing but a chokehold on the Ngurra people from this place.
The letter calling for federal intervention reveals the Murujuga area was removed from the state's Aboriginal heritage systems a decade ago in error and has never been reinstated despite its significance.
There's a Dalu site right there in front of that industry. Some of the old people still talk about it, but it's within the vicinity of this landscape. Fish trap country, all the Dalungali country right here. Songlines in those rocks and money. Massacre sites just across the way.
The custodians say the need for such protections and the threat to Murujuga has never been greater.
Oh, Narelda, such beautiful country, such beautiful country.
Yeah.
And I find it really alarming and really sad that we're again talking about the possible destruction of such sacred country that's tens of thousands of years old, especially off the back of the destruction of the Juukan Gorge.
Yeah, and JP, Federal Environment Minister Susan Lee, well, she says the application is being assessed, and also in a statement the WA government says it recognises Murujuga's immense significance, but the area, they say, is also home to several industries which are critical to the economy.